welcome to Witchy Wednesday. This is Ariel and we are streaming live on YouTube. Moderating today for us are the lovely Diane and the lovely I Am Her Eminence. Sorry for the little confusion there this morning. I don't know what happened to all my streams that I scheduled. I think I must have done something wrong. So I'm glad you found your way over here. We're going to be doing a talisman today, and we'll get right to that. We should have a premiere tomorrow if I get it done. I've been working really hard trying to get Basic Angel Magic Module 2, Lesson 2 finished. So if I get that finished today, if I get enough time, we'll have a premiere of that tomorrow. We'll definitely have a premiere on Friday and another premiere on Saturday, though, as usual. All right, so let's see. What else was I going to tell you? We have a website, arielscorner.com, arielscorner.com, Yahoo. And we also have a podcast hub that you can find at arielspodcasts.com, arielspodcasts.com. Many people find that site is a little easier to locate the particular type of video they're looking for than the playlists on YouTube. So we've got options for you. If you are on the main website at arielscorner.com, you can look in the footer of any page and you'll notice that we have all of our social media links. And 2 of those social media links are great if you want to be more involved with our community. We have a Discord server and we also have a private Facebook group. So we hope to see you over at one or both of those. If you'd like to donate to this channel, you can do that by going to paypal.me/arielgatoga, paypal.me/arielgatoga. If you want to donate and stay on YouTube, if you're watching live, you could use a super sticker or super chat right in the chat thread, or if you're watching on a restream, you can always use a super thanks. We also have a shop, arielscornershop.com, arielscornershop.com. We have a bunch of new merchandise. We have a It's Not God's Fault Your Church Sucked t-shirt. We've got, let's see, we've got a Black Cat t-shirt and mug. We've got a Sexy Lucifer t-shirt and mug. And it seems like we have something else that I can't think of right now. So we have a few new pieces of merchandise. So check it out, arielscornershop.com, arielscornershop.com. Please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. And let's get going. I want to do a Saturn talisman. And this is just a basic star talisman, and you can, orient it for whatever. Today, we're going to orient it toward getting rid of long-standing problems. All right, so I'm using a black square of paper. Now, if you can't find black paper, like construction paper or whatever, you can just use regular white paper and a black pen. But if you're using black paper like this, you'll want either a white pen, like this, or a white pencil, like this. And I find that sometimes if you get a good white pencil, those work a little easier, and that's probably what we're going to use today. All right, so let's just start. We want to have a protractor and a ruler on hand. We will use a candle. If you have a black candle, that's great, but I just have a white LED. And then some sort of fragrance, if you choose. You don't have to use a fragrance. You can use a Saturnian fragrance. I'm just using a traditional eau de cologne today. This happens to be Alvarez Gomez Agua de Colonia Concentrada. So there's that, and we'll get to that in a minute. And then some scissors to cut it out if you'd like. Sometimes I just use the paper square. Sometimes I cut it out. It just depends on my mood. All right, now I'm going to be doing a lot of the preliminary markup in regular pencil, so you won't be able to see it. But that way, because you can't really erase the white pencil off of this, and that way it's not so messy. So the first thing I'm going to do is find my center of this square. And so I just draw a couple lines, and where those 2 lines intersect, that's my center. And I'm going to I don't know. Let's see if I want to use harmonics today or not. Depends. This is just, I just did an arbitrary number, size of square of paper. So let's see. If I did harmonics, that would be, I would measure 1.5 here to get a 3-inch circle. Let's see how that looks. That'll be a little small. So we're not going to use harmonics today. I'm just going to just do it free form. All right, so I'm just going to make the outer circle first. I'm sorry, the inner circle first, and then I'll do the outer circle just a wee bit larger so I can write some god names in there. And I may end up coloring this in a little darker because it's not very light. All right, so what I'm going to do is take my ruler and just use the corners of the page as my guide, and I'll just section off the 4 quadrants of the circle this way. And I'll color this in a second. Okay, so now what we want is a triangle. So I should have probably marked this first. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, let's use a pencil for this. Make sure, I think this, I've kept this. If you can keep the compass to the exact, there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it right at the top here. And I'll put my compass where I just made that first mark. And then I'm just going to go around the circle like this. To mark, this is actually a hexagram that we're marking, and I'll just use every other mark to do my triangle. That way I don't have to get out the protractor, because this is such an easy one to do without a protractor. You just make sure you leave the compass set at where you drew that first marking. Okay, and then what I do is I take my, where's my ruler? Oh, here it is. I'm going to take my ruler and pull all of the, or just the 3 markings into this circle here, this outer circle. I think I'm going to do an inverted triangle. So I didn't need to do that top, did I? And if your triangle's not perfect, it's okay. It's not a big deal. And then this one up here. Okay, now I'll just take my white pencil and draw the circle. The triangle. Some geometric pattern, shape, whatever one. Circle, triangle, square. Triangle, Ariel. We are using a triangle. Why? Because 3 is the 3rd sephira on the tree of life. That's 3rd sphere, which corresponds to Saturn. So let's just color this in a little darker, just because I wasn't able to get enough of a pressure when I drew it with the compass there. So what I did is I left the compass set at what I drew the circle at, and then wherever my first point was, I just made a mark there, and then here, and then I just put the point of my compass on that mark, and then drew a little mark on the outer circle, and then put the point on the mark I just drew, and then drew another point on the outer circle all the way around. And what that did is it gave me 6 points, But we didn't want a hexagram, so I just did every other point, and I drew my triangle like that. Hopefully that makes sense. Or you can just use a protractor, or you can do it freehand. If it's not a perfect triangle, it's okay. It's just the shape. The general shape is all you really need. Now we're just kind of coloring this in a little bit. Okay. Now, what I want is, Saturn rules Capricorn. So I'm going to put, I'm going to put that here. And then I'm going to put the Saturnian signs on either side. That's how I'm doing it. Those are 3 signs of Saturn that we can use for Cassiel. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to draw the, I'm going to write the god names for Cassiel on the outside here. And I think inside here, I could do a little psalm. Let's try that. Let me get a book of Psalms. Hold on. So the way I'm going to do it today is I'm just going to ask, like as a divination, for my Saturn talisman to remove long-standing problems. What is the best verse for me? And I'm closing my eyes with my left hand. I'm just going to do this until I feel like it's time to stop. Okay, through God we shall do valiantly, for he it is that shall tread down our enemies. So I'm going to use that around the triangle. What did I do with my pencil? Here it is. Or I could use this pen on this too, since I don't have to sharpen it. Through God we shall do valiantly. For he it is that shall tread down our enemies. Okay. Now, what you can do is, instead of doing the way I did, you could draw this triangle in light pencil where it doesn't show up, and then make the triangle actually be those words. But I didn't have the forethought to do that, so I didn't. That's not how I did it. Okay, let's get those god names in here. Let's see. We're gonna do. It's Yehovah Elohim, and I think for this one I will use the Passing of the Rivers script. The Passing the Rivers script. So let's do that. So we go right to left with this one. And any of you that have done the have the Star Talisman booklet, You should have gotten also a little supplement on how to write the god names so that you have these already done for you so you don't have to work them out. Which, there's nothing wrong with working them out, but it's nice to have a cheat sheet too. So this is a yud. This is a hey. This is a vav. This is a hey. Aleph. Lamed. Yud. Oops, I meant hey, and then yud. And then mem. Yehovah, yud hey vav hey Elohim. I was going to use the pen, but then I didn't. It's because my mind is a little bit scattered today. Too many things going on at once. Aleph, Lamed, Hey. Lamed, Hey. Yud. And then Mem for Elohim. Okay, one more to go. Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey. Aleph, Lamed. Hey. Yud. And Mem. Okay. A little messy, but that's okay. Now, I think we will cut this out, and then we'll do a petition on the back. Now, I don't do long-winded petitions. I try to be real to the point, almost affirmations. Less is more, I think. Oh, you can put questions in the chat thread if you have any questions for me. I just forgot to tell you that, but you can always do that. Not that I'll always have the answer, but if I happen to know, I will share it with you. Okay. Now, let's get a piece of scratch paper and kind of work out our petition. So we're going to eliminate long-standing problems. I'm just going to do that as my full petition today. A lot of times for petitions, if I'm petitioning an angel, I'll be very, like, dear so-and-so, please help me to da-da-da. This one I'm just going to do as an affirmation. Eliminate long-standing problem. And you can decide what that is if you want to put yourself into this talisman. Okay, let's get my little cheat sheet for the Okay, so the E vowel, or the E sound, is this here. Now, since we're doing English, we're going to write it from left to right. And then the L sound, the I sound, and then the N sound, and the A sound, and then the T sound. Long, standing. I'm going to put, let's do it this way, long. So the L sound again is this. Ah is this. We do this phonetically, remember. The sound. We have that in the other, we'll just do NG. And then stand. Standing. S. T. A. Again. D is here. E is here. And then the NG again. And then problem. Okay, the P sound, I should say, the P, the sound, the ah sound, the B sound, the L sound, and then the M is one syllable, so we can do that. Eliminate long-standing problem. Okay, so we'll do it a little neater on the back of this. Make sure this is upright. I'll use a pen for this because this needs to be sharpened, and I did not bring a sharpener with me. Eliminate long. Let's just do long standing like here. Long. And see how I keep pronouncing it as I go? That's the whole idea, is to get the power of vibration in there. Long. I don't think I have enough room here, so I'm going to do another line. It's not centered, but will live. S. T. A. N. D. E. Problem. P. Ah. B. L. M. Eliminate long-standing problem. And there we have it. Okay, let's get our altar up and running here. Oh, I forgot my pentacle. One moment. So that took us about 20-something minutes, I guess, maybe, if that. So, you know, you don't want to rush through it necessarily, but at the same time, it doesn't take that long to do one of these talismans. And you saw how we made it our own. It's nothing out of a book. We just used the basic theory of the star talismans as our base, and then we added a psalm, and we developed our own psalm attribution using divination. And then we just use the god names that are on the sphere of number 3 and use those around here. We could have done something else if we wanted to, but that's a good rule of thumb. And then did our petition on the back, and we matched the script with what we used for the god names, which was the Passing the Rivers script. Now we're going to anoint it with 3 sprays. You could just do 1, but 3 sprays is what I usually use. 1, 2, 3. And we'll light our candle. And that's all there is to it. All right, let's see if we have any questions. So I'm going to keep this I'm going to let this, we would normally let the candle burn down and out, but I'm going to, since it's an LED, it will be probably 3 generations from now by the time the LED burns down and out by itself. So for the LED, we simulate the burn down by letting it stay lit for a minimum of 1 hour. So after about an hour, I'll turn that off, and I'll just rip this up and throw it away, since it's a since it happens to be a banishing talisman. Can't really see that very well, that it's burning, but it is. Let's see, is there a filter on this maybe? Hold on. Oh, that didn't help. Let me see if I can help that up a little bit. Oh, that made it worse, didn't it? Well, we just have to deal. You still can't see it, so we'll just get rid of that. I think it's because it's black on black, and the camera's not really taking it very well. So let's just get rid of that. But it is lit. All right, let's see if we have any questions. Is this Tibetan script? No, it's the Passing the Rivers script, which you can find in the basic angel magic course, which is free of charge at arielgatoga.com/B like boy, A like apple, M like Mary. And you can also find it if you get the Star Talisman book. I don't remember the URL for that, but if you go to arielscorner.com, and just click on the free booklets, you'll find the Star Talisman booklet, and you can click on the Star Talisman booklet, download that, and it also has the scripts for that as well. Is this the Tibetan script? Is there a booklet? Is this instead of the Angel Magic one? This is an Angel Magic one. This is the Passing the Rivers script. It's in lesson 3, I think, of the basic Angel Magic course. When can this be made? Usually the waning moon cycle is when I make any kind of banishing talisman. Unless you're, in dire straits, if you need something banished right away and it happens to be a waxing moon and it's an emergency, then just do what you got to do. But if you can align with the lunar phases, it's best to do banishing on the waning moon. And for banishing talismans, you don't hold on to them. After the candles burn down and out, you just rip it up and throw it away to banish it. If it's an invoking kind of talisman or during the waxing moon and you're using it to bring something or grow something or draw something, if you're using waxing moon magic, then we usually recommend that you put the talisman away until the following new moon and then destroy it. Okay, that's it for the questions. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I so appreciate you. And thank you very much to the amazing moderators, Diane and I Am Her Eminence. And we will see everybody tomorrow for Thrilling Thursday. Until next time, blessed be.